So let's get things straight. There are some things we are not aware of, even still being in our 20s. Like most of these things are not what we know because maybe our mothers didn't tell us about it, or we are just getting to know it from somebody else, but we still do not understand what it means. So in this video, I'll be explaining the step-by-step head-to-toe feminine hygiene that we all should know. It's quite common that you see a young girl asking some questions about feminine hygiene to maybe an older adult at a certain age, let's say at the age of 18, 19, whereas she's supposed to know these things as early as 11, 12, or 13 years maximum. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you some unpopular feminine hygiene that you should take note of. Number one is the period panties. Whenever you are in your cycle, it's more advisable that you wear period panties. What I mean here is that instead of wearing lace panties, you can opt out for wearing cotton panties, grandma panties, right? What this helps you to do is that it helps to position the sanitary pad properly so it won't be sliding and moving whenever you are moving. And what this also helps to do is that it helps in better airflow into the panties, right? So that air coming in would also go out, and it will help to regulate the temperature of that place and also regulate the pH balance as well. Second tip is the use of pH balanced feminine cleansers. Now, there's always a controversy that happens whenever people say that feminine washes, feminine cleansers are not appropriate for the vagina. That's really a conception that I need to speak about, because you cannot just say you just use water and just splash there and the whole thing just go. It doesn't work like that, most especially during our menstrual cycle. When you say you just want to use water, yes, the vagina is self-cleansing, but just the use of water, especially during your menstrual cycle, wouldn't do so much. That is why you need to opt out for feminine washes, pH balanced feminine washes, not even soap. Most times when I was much younger, before I knew these tips, I used to use soap, right? I would just lather soap on my hand and then wash that area because I don't want any kind of smell. But do you know what happened? Because this soap was just normal bathing soap and it had a lot of scent, like very strong scent, but I was not aware of the aftermath. So what I started experiencing was that place became more sensitive. It was itching. It was, it was just not favorable for me. I thought I even had an infection, but I went to the hospital and I didn't have an infection. So what I had to do later on was to get feminine wash. A feminine wash that I usually use, the Femme Fresh feminine wash. I'll put the picture up so you see it. I've been using this for over a year and I've not experienced any side effects, although the human body is usually different. So what might work for me might not work for you depending on your body structure. But for this Femme Fresh, I've been using it for over a year and there's nothing that I've ever come out as a side effect. So what I'm saying in essence is that you should not just rely basically on water alone to help keep your private area fresh and smelling good. Water would not really do so much. So you need to make your research on the type of body you have. If you have very sensitive skin, generally, definitely your VJ area will be very sensitive, right? And then you should now look for feminine washes that have no alcohol in them, that have no scent, especially that have no scent in them. Even if it's a natural maxed scent, all those things they used to put in a carton and stuff like that, make sure it has no odor. It is odorless and it is colorless. That will really help to keep your pH balance and keep your VJ area smelling fresh. And the third tip is to always cleanse your face with a gentle cleanser. Look at me. I do not usually have this smooth face. I was someone who was battling heavily with acne. What I usually do was, because I had severe acne, I would opt out to using different soap, so many medications, and dermatologists recommending so many soaps and creams and stuff like that. Not like I was using it in excess, but I would use for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. If I didn't see any, positive results, I would just change to another one. I really needed to get my face clear, to get my skin clear. There was no space for skin to show on my face. That was how terrible my acne were. But what I now had to realize in the long run, that instead of using soap, because soap has a harsh chemical, soap really has harsh chemicals known as SLS that is used mostly in making detergents, like your liquid soap and your detergents. So if they can use that kind of chemical in making detergents, how would it now be that you're putting that same chemical on your face? And remember, your face is the most sensitive area of your whole body, right? One of the most sensitive areas of your whole body. And you don't just put anything you feel like on your face. It makes the face go bad and you will start seeing side effects. So what you should do is to opt out for cleansers. If you go to a product store or an online store, you have to search for the word facial cleansers. They are very different from body cleansers, body wash. What I'm talking about is not body wash. Most especially too, what you put on your face should not be what you put on your body, except it is specifically stated that it is suitable for the face. So most times when you get a lotion or a moisturizer, you boldly see the word body moisturizer or body lotion. So what this means is that you should only apply that kind of lotion from your neck to your toes. It should not even cross your face. There are specific lotions and moisturizers, serums, and facial cleansers that are meant for the face and the face alone. That is why your skin is very sensitive. And those people that actually created that product had it in mind that everybody's skin is sensitive, most especially the female skin is very sensitive. And they had to create that product. You should opt out for facial cleansers as against to using bar soaps and body wash. The fourth tip is wiping from front to back. Now, I know many females do use the toilet paper after urinating, which is very good in most cases if you are doing it well. So what you should do is, instead of wiping from the back, what I mean by the back is your butt area to the surface of your VJ, you should wipe from your VJ backward. Do you understand? So you are kind of wiping the remnants, the pee remnants from front to the back. What this will help you to do is that it will help you to prevent the bacteria from your butt to enter the VJ area. And you know, when that kind of thing happens, you know what comes out from the butt area. You don't want anything contaminating your VJ area because it can be very sensitive and it can throw you off balance, right? So you need to wipe from the front to the back. Do not make the mistake of wiping from the back to the front, because you are transferring the bacteria from your butt area into your VJ area, and that can be a total hazard. The fifth tip is very uncommon, right? Many people do neglect that you have your hair in your anus. There's usually a buildup of hair in your anus, and even when you finish shaving your VJ area, the surface, you should go extra mile in shaving your butt crack. This is a no judgment zone, right? Because you might not be aware of this, or might just neglect it for many reasons. When you shave your butt crack, you notice that if you can, just test this out. If you can, whenever you shave it, just try to perceive the hair on the shaving stick. I know what I'm talking about. Now imagine if you now leave the hair for like months on your butt area. How bad would that place be smelling? I'm not here to judge. I know this is something that is not really common, but it's very important that you shave immediately after shaving your VJ area. Shave your butt crack, and don't make the mistake of shaving your butt crack first before shaving your VJ area. Remember, in the third tip I said you should wipe from front to back, right? So do not use the same shaving stick that you used to shave your butt crack on your VJ area. It's not just pleasing. Also, the same shaving stick that you used to shave your armpit should not go anywhere close to your VJ area. The armpit produces a different kind of bacteria that should not even cross the VJ area. So you need to, shaving stick is usually cheap. It's very cheap. You need to get like sets of shaving stick and allocate it that, okay, for if you are shaving your armpits, this is just for the armpits. Once you shave it, you throw it in the waste bin and get another one and then shave, your VJ area, and another one for your butt crack. Do you understand? It just helps you to keep in check and reduce the amount of odor that these things produce. It is very common that women do produce odor because of sweat and the frictions and rubbing and stuff. But if you go extra miles in preventing these things, shaving the right way and doing the right things, like I'm explaining this with you reduce the chances of you getting infected and also producing odor. Now, have you noticed that after you get a product that have been hyped for so long, like you have been seeing reviews from different people, this product is working well, moisturizer, serums and stuff like that, and you've tasted it on yourself and it's 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and you're not seeing any results, it is probably because you've not exfoliated your skin. Exfoliation is very paramount. Like in my bathroom, I have body scrub that I use for my body specifically, not for my face, right? So what exfoliation does is to remove the upper layer that is dead, the upper layer of your skin that has dead cells. Our skin do produce dead cells. It usually rejuvenates when we sleep, right? So every day there's a constant breakdown of dead cells and the production of a new cell. And when those dead cells come, they stay at the top of our skin. That's why most times you see that you have a very dull skin, or your skin is not just glowing as it should. It's because maybe you've forgotten to exfoliate, or you don't even exfoliate at all. So what you should do most likely is you should exfoliate at least once a week, right? You should use body scrub. If you have body scrub, you can use body scrub. If you want to use chemical peel, you can use chemical peel. But do not forget that you should not put a body scrub on your face. It is very dangerous. Like for me, what I use on my face is usually a chemical scrub, something that contains AHA, BHA. What I use right now is the face fat lactic acid. You can use any kind of chemical scrub or chemical peels that you think it's good for your face after making research. So this helps you to keep the skin texture at hand, right? There was something I usually used to do when I had severe breakouts, and I did not know about this, but I was using a body scrub on my face. And you know, body scrubs have all these little particles, like either they will use sugar scrub, salt scrub. You know, it's not just a fine texture, right? I was using it on my face because I believed that, okay, if I had dead skin cells on my face, this thing would actually remove the dead skin cells on my face, and I would be having, you know, acne free face. But that was very wrong. It even made my acne to be very worse. Until I started using chemical serums that can exfoliate my face without making it irritated. Also, you should not use sponge on your face. I don't know about people that usually use sponge on their faces. For me, that have a very sensitive and acne prone skin, I've learned a lot of lessons. I even don't know why this channel is not even about face care and skincare, because I have grown to an extent that I can be able to answer any question about skincare because of the experiences that I've had. I fought the battle of acne for over 6 years, chronic acne, so I know what I'm talking about when I share these tips. Do not use sponge on your face, be it African sponge, be it exfoliating scrub sponge, any kind of sponge. Especially for you as a female, it will not work. Do you know what happens when you are scrubbing your face? You are giving your face micro tears. Like, if you can use the what's that thing called, if you can use a microscope to zoom into the skin of your face after using a sponge on your face, you can see that even the holes, your skin holes are widened, right? You're giving yourself micro tears, and whenever bacteria lands on top of that tear, you know what happens now? Acne begins to form. So it's best that you don't even use any scrub on your face, any sponge on your face. There's nothing wrong with your hand. You can squeeze your facial wash on your palms, a clean palm too, and then wash your face. For those that want to really go extra, they have all these electric wash and stuff, but you know that the bristle of those electric brush that they usually sell in the market, it's far different and softer than the normal bathing sponge. And even if you think that you want to even go gentle on your face using a bathing sponge, you can never be too sure. Acne will teach you a lesson. So instead of doing that, you should avoid it. And you know the worst thing again, what many people do not even understand is that when you finish bathing your body with your normal African bathing sponge and you put it on your face, or even let's say you want to, maybe you usually bathe and wash your face first before washing your body, the bacteria that you washed off your body from that sponge from yesterday is still on the sponge. If you like, you think that you soak it in water. Do you usually soak your sponge in hot water every day? No, because the bacteria that is there, you washed your armpits, you washed your feet, you washed everything out, and you are putting it on your face. It's just the same way you're using a set of makeup brush for a long period of time without washing it. What I mean by a long period of time is for a whole week, 7 days, and you've not washed it, and the next week you're trying to apply your makeup with the same brush that have bacteria build-up. It doesn't make sense. Now think about the sponge that you have used to wash all areas of your body that's producing different oil and bacteria, and put it on your face. Wow. Now the 7th tip is to drink water. Water is really life. It's no news that water is the best friend of everybody. Water is, even our brain, yes, according to the scientists, our brain contains 70% of water. And if our brain contains 70% of water and you're not drinking enough water to replenish that water, what are you doing to yourself? Nothing, you know. So what you should do is at least opt out for drinking between 7 to 8 glasses of water every day. What I usually do is at least 1.5 liters every day. So long there is water, why shouldn't I be drinking water? I even take more water than taking food, because it helps in making your skin glow. It helps in growing your hair. Like, what I usually notice now is that, you know how the hair is like a plant. The plant grows from the soil, right, upwards. And because I usually take a lot of water, when I retouch my hair, if I retouch my hair, let's say last month, by the same time and the same date this month, the hair already has a lot of undergrowth in it. What does this tell you? The same way new plants grow, seedlings grow, is the same way our hair grow. And what makes plants to grow most of the time is water and sunlight, right? So that water is usually beneficial. If you think your hair is having stunted growth, or it's not just going the way you should, try drinking a lot of water. Try it and thank me later. So we have come to the end of this video. I believe this video was very informative. If so, I would like you to leave a thought in the comment section. Share with us other feminine tips that you would want to implement, or you know that I've not mentioned in this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.